It's kind of like your Memorial Day or something, or
It's a queen's birthday.
the Queen's birthday. Oh,
Yeah. You don't celebrate that in America.
nice. So is there like a massive parade or anything like that, or?
No, it's just pretty much a day off. The shops are
Huh.
closed, and
Okay,
yeah.
good. And you're here with me.
Yeah. Did anyone else reply?
That Messiah says he's gonna be showing up.
Okay.
And, there you go. Let me grab this link here and we'll post it up. Get shareable link. All right. We'll post it up over there. All right. All right, cool. So, thanks for making those questions, by the way. Those topics to talk about. So let's go ahead and me kind of touch on a little bit. So I think I'll go ahead and share my screen so the others can see here. Turn your screen share on, and I don't think there's anything personal that I need to worry about. Oh, that's your email on there. I'll just go ahead and Messiah, you just joined us.
All right.
Hello. Can you hear me? All right, so we're going to be talking about the overview of how I used TBS in the past. Okay, and successful for strategies. Okay, and then we'll talk about typical settings we might want to adjust, special features, auto run, how to mix the auto run with some manual intervention, what works and what doesn't. Examples might be to see good resistance that we want to long from. Can we buy and let TBS take over? Or we set up runs manually and let TBS take over. Okay. Anything that the pack members can help with to help with TBS be more profitable. I think that's definitely could use some help there. If you were someone that just on TBS, show us how you use it and just try to build mainstream and have time with family. Okay. All right. So the first one is overview. How would you use TBS in that? So were you able to go over the free training where I kind of just did it manually and I just kind of set up my rungs and all I did was long.
Yeah, I've been through some of them, but I probably need to review them again.
And it's pretty. I mean, that's all I did was just low leverage and long term Bitcoin's going up, and it didn't take a rocket scientist to figure out that it's gonna keep going up, right? So I think it just broke out, and I don't know how far it's gonna go, but there's probably gonna be some long term longs. I don't think it's gonna drop 20% from that point on. I mean, we've already corrected about 40 to 50% already from 60 down to 30, and if it's gonna be going on up, then it might kind of stay within the 30-60 range for a while. I don't know how long, or if it breaks that 60, then man, you just kind of fasten your seatbelt and jump on it. But all I did was set those rungs up manually, like at the time when Bitcoin was like 6,000 was every $100, and I just let it drop all the way down, bottom all up, and I knew that I had about 50% before I got liquidated, right? But yeah, it was low leverage, like 5x, and I think that's about half, I believe, right? Or maybe like 30%. I don't know, something like that. Yeah, and so it didn't drop more than that, and there were times where I got close, where I was like, oh man, if this goes another couple $100, I'm gonna get liquidated, and I got scared, and I was doing that Bybit competition.
Yeah.
And I sold, and I was like, and then afterwards I was like, it never hit, and I was like, I should have just stayed. I think I would have been number 3 if I kept 2 trades that scared me out of my position. So the thing is that when I was doing it manually, I was able to calculate how much of my wallet was in there, and then when you use too much of your wallet, that's where you start making really dumb decisions. You start getting emotional. You start freaking out. But
Right,
to
yeah.
have your cool, to keep your cool, you got to be comfortable. So if you're comfortable with that 30% or the 10% wall that you have, and if it goes down, then you're like, we'll ride it out, kind of thing. And you can probably, you probably would have, been all right. So it's just kind of like keeping yourself in a good mental state based on that number, because you're like, dude, that's my livelihood, and you don't want to,
You don't want to wipe out. Yeah.
wipe out, and then you're kind of screwed. I was gonna say Musayab. If you got your video, if you can do video, audio, jump on. I'd like to hear from you. Hey, we can't hear you. Can't hear you, so you have to turn your mic on or something. Okay, 1 second. Okay, got it.
Yeah, I had problems with my mic. I had to restart.
You hear me now?
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you.
Yeah, it's 5 a.m. here in Germany. I'm just woke up and just setting up my system here. I'm actually on my laptop. I will set up my PC system right now, and then it will be better audio and video quality.
Okay, good.
Okay, cool. Nice to have you on board.
Yeah, thank you, same here.
So how old are you?
I'm actually 20 years now.
20. Okay, cool.
Yeah, and I am basically I'm from IT background. Like I'm a developer myself, and I'm more in web development area. Like I started from websites like everyone does, and then started like web development and mobile application, Android, iOS, and all that stuff. Yeah.
Nice.
So basically in React, I'm programming.
Cool.
Yeah, I started with trading also, like Bybit and other platforms. Like I have also mining systems here running, Ethereum, for example, the new helium mining, maybe you have heard of. Yeah, and I also lost a lot of like in mining. Sorry, not in mining. Sorry, in trading, because I started like trading really in like the start of year, January, and all that. So I made a lot of money with GameStop. Okay, so so I used those profits because I was not very much familiar about leverage trading. So I was just, because the market was going up already, and I just played some moves, and I made like I started my account with 3 Ethereums, and in 2 weeks, literally, I made them 4.5 Ethereum. So like I was thinking, okay, it's so easy, like everything is going so good, and you remember the Valentine's Day drop, like the 15th February, there was a very big drop, and on that day I lost like a lot of. I got liquidated, so that was the first liquidation. So I then thought, okay, no, that's not going to work. I mean, manual trading, and it's also very emotionally connected. I have to find a way where I can automate all that stuff. So currently working on that. I'm also working on other strategies, like writing my own Pine script in TradingView, so I can connect my maybe write an API or something for Bybit to like automate all the stuff. So just trying different stuff out. Your bot, I mean, it did very good on the first starting days, but right now it is not so. I mean, I have to tweak the settings so to get the best out of it. Yeah.
So do you know Python?
Yes, I indeed, yeah.
Oh, dude, I think
like web
we need to work together.
Like web scraping and, for example, Beautiful Soap, Selenium, and all that stuff. Like I have done some automation stuff with Python, a little bit.
And do you know Django?
No, I'm not the professional IT guy. Like I have done just normal automation stuff for my own purposes. So where I have to like automate some tasks, I write it, and but it's easy to learn. Yeah.
And then your name is Earl or no, Mike?
David.
Okay, I'm gonna put David. And what's your name? Is it Muyasal or?
Yeah, that's my name. That's my name.
How do you pronounce it? Musayab.
Genau. Exactly.
Okay, Musayab and David. Okay.
Yeah. So basically, I'm not from Germany. I'm initially from Pakistan, but I'm in Germany. So I'm also completing my bachelor's here.
Okay.
also in computer science. Yeah.
So do you speak German too?
Yeah.
Okay.
I am doing so bachelor's in German, so I had to learn the language, and I am also doing my bachelor's here.
Cool.
Oh, that's good.
David, what was your background?
Okay, so I grew up in Idaho in
Okay.
America and moved to Australia like in my early 20s, and I do communications, so more of like wireless communications. But I
Okay.
specialize more. Now I manage a team of engineers that look after the government radio network. So that's like ambulance, fire brigade, police type of stuff.
Okay.
So they look after all the servers, but also all the RF, like the radio frequency stuff in towers. And
Okay.
yeah, it's pretty exciting, but a lot of pressure as well because we're contracted to the government.
Okay.
So
cool. Make sure the signals are safe and not interrupting anything.
That's right. Yeah, and a lot to do with like I guess when we get busy is like when there's floods or fires, like bushfires, and so we got to keep the towers working. So sending out generators and staff to fix things.
Okay. Cool. All right. Well, I don't know if you guys want to hear about my background, but I guess I'll just move on. So I guess the first topic we were talking about was the TBS, how I used it in the past, right? Well, I didn't use it in the past, and it was just basically low leverage, and all I did was long every $100 rungs, and that's all I did was to kind of wait for it, and I'll set those rungs up, walk away, it fills, and I know that it wouldn't go down against me far enough to liquidate me with such low leverage. And then I'll walk back and check on it, like, oh, I'm like maybe up a little bit, and then it's going a little sideways. Then I'll maybe set a couple more rungs to kind of, sell that kind of like either maybe half of that, and then when it comes back down, take another position half, but always leave about 20% behind, right? Just in case it keeps taking off. And so that's basically all I did. And then at a certain point where it does pump, like today, I would probably either take 80% of that, and if I think there's more, maybe set my stop profit and then walk away, or just take it and then take a break for the whole day. And eventually that pump's gonna come back down. And if it doesn't, maybe you might miss out on that 20%. Then you might want to set like a trap where you have a conditional order market in and then take off. So I would probably set some conditional orders from top and bottom, just in case what happens, like it's just going sideways, so it's going to go up and down. But you have to be careful because it's too close. It can hit both sides. It'll come out here, get you in, and then, take your loss on the way up again. So they have to do a little bit further out, and I don't know how much. You're going to have to kind of look at the channel, see where that is, and kind of set where that needs to be. And so all it was done manually when I did that with Bybit. And so what I knew was that, setting up those rungs was a pain in the butt to kind of calculate it. Okay, then I got to type it in and do set 10 of them up. So that's why I started creating the TradeBot Secrets rungs. So initially I started as a tool and to just click on that button, it creates it, boom, and it's done, and you walk away. And then when I started to try and automate that, it kind of changed the dynamics a little bit, because then it's getting in and out. It's actually refreshing the rungs too frequent. I only did that like once a day, and you look at the bot, it's like doing it every 5 minutes, right? And so sometimes it over positions itself, and then you get stuck, and then it kind of comes back down against you on a sideways direction, and then you're like -1% or more, and then you get to take that loss. So I think that if I kind of tweak it to how I used to trade it manually, I might just say refresh those rungs every maybe 24 hours or even 12 hours or something like that, instead of every 15 minutes. I think that would be what I would be doing. And then when it does take off, and basically just put on buy as long, and that's it, and just kind of sit and forget it. But the thing is that, it could still go against you, right? Because, and so if that happens, then you're basically losing that, that 30% wallet that you put in. So now that we built in the 1%, it kind of gets you out quite quickly, and you have to reset those rungs. And then if it keeps going sideways, wicking you out, it can really add up on fees and just and whatnot. And so leverage trapper bot has a strength in how it can trade sideways, but then when it takes off on you, then it's like, it has a hard time catching up with that. And also it allows 10% of losses, right? Because then it's, and so there's a little bit of a balance on what you need to do. But as of right now, I do like with the trade bot secrets is that we're not losing the full 10. And I know Musa, you got hit with the 10% and it sucks, right? You're like trying to build it up and all of a sudden like boom, it sets you back again. And so that negative 1%, it seems like whenever we get that hit, it does kind of recover it quite quickly. And it kind of either ends up like if it starts up negative for the day, you end up having a break-even day. And then the next day, you might get the 5%. So you don't get the 5% every day. You get it like every other day kind of thing. It's just what it seems like. But as long as we don't get those big hits that sets us back too much, I see potential that it's, going to be, gradually building that account up, So typical settings that we want to adjust. So let's go ahead and I'll switch over my screen. I'll pull up my BPS and kind of show you some of the things that I would normally adjust here. So let's see. I'm going to move this screen over to the side, and I'm going to share.
Yeah. So back then, did you do much technical analysis, or you just sort of saw like it's going?
Well, the only technical analysis I really did was more like Fibonacci, like knowing that, hey, I think if it pumped up right here, then I'll do a 63% retracement back down, and then I'll place my rungs like right here. So this is the only thing I would probably do. My TA would probably be here where this pump went up, and then kind of place my buy orders either, up here where the 60% off is. So from here to here, come back 60%. I'll probably place some rungs and start buying all the way down here. And then that's probably the extent of my my TA. So, and then leave my 20% in there. So I believe this is probably gonna either come down, might pick it with positions, or it might come down and then take off again. I have no idea. And that's I mean that was it. Like I used to do patterns and all this other stuff, but I mean you're gonna watch it like a hawk, and you have to really be on there. And that's not the kind of I guess trading that I do here. I'm trying to kind of move away from all this stuff. So. All right. Let's see. Wait, were you able to see my screen? No. You were able to see my screen, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. All right. Cool. Let me pull up the settings now. All right. So this is the BTC setting. I'm gonna use. This is my test setting right here. My ETH. I've been trying to get ETH to work on some advanced weird stuff, and it's just not. It's just breaking even really right here. All right, so some of the stuff that I've been trying to mess with is on sideways. QCP starting at 1.68% is just the Fibonacci number. It was 5 at first, where we wouldn't like pop up this the stop profit on sideways. Currently at BTC is at 5%. Mm-hmm. Right, right here. Yeah, currently you have it set at 5, and so using this, I'm building off of it. And so for ETH, I'm on ETH now. You kind of make sure that you look up here. That's ETH, my ETH directory. I'm kind of changing the time frame. I had it at 30 for like 2 candles. That didn't seem to work, so I put it back to 300. It seems like I might need to stop it out, keep it there early because it's so wicky, like, so if you over position, you kind of want to get out of that, but this is still going to set you back a little bit. The fee's still going to hit you, but at least you stop out in profit, or at least in the profit direction, but it's not enough to cover the fee. And then auto adjusting the runs 1-to-1 is something I've been kind of messing with. And then 1-to-5, 1-to-5. This here, since each run is like 30% of your wallet, so you put 2 of these, you're at 60% of your wallet. You put another one, that's 90% of your wallet, kind of thing. So it's a little more heavy when it trends up. Okay. And then I have some stuff here where you enable the set trap. That's where somehow it takes off without you. And then I think this one might not be working right at this point. I haven't seen it set that trap where you put the conditional order above it. So when it pops up, then it'll long, and then kind of start taking profit after that. I haven't seen that pop up yet, so I don't know if it's working or not working. But I've seen it work manually when you can click the button, it'll work. But in the auto run, I haven't seen it work yet. So those are some of the things that I'm kind of messing with to kind of try and kind of either get it to work profitably and whatnot. Okay. Another thing is Musaya, are you familiar with how the auto adjust is working and all that stuff?
Yeah, I just logged into my Bybit account, and it has taken another loss. So all the money that I have made, like the bot made like in 3 days, so it's almost gone.
Oh,
so I'm stopping it for now. Maybe there's something wrong with the settings.
Mm-hmm.
I have to look into it. I mean, I'm not so feeling comfortable with the settings file yet. I mean, how it all together works and all that stuff. Like you suggested me to change the time last night. And it seems to be not working that well. It should be.
Okay.
So yeah, let's see how.
And you haven't made any adjustments in the user settings file?
No, just the proven settings. I just take them over and the suggestions like you said in the chat, like the 5% thing. I think that should stop trading after.
Okay.
In the experimental chat, yeah. Nothing more.
Okay, so some of the things that you could probably adjust right now is like right here it is taking some losses here from my ETH. Yeah, so I only have one rung here, and I'm not able to DC anymore because I'm already in, and I'm not adding any more to it. So it's just that's kind of it. Here on my BTC, how it's sideways. And yet it can do 3 rungs, but then you kind of want it to take profit as soon as it pops up, kind of thing. Or, like eventually, I'm assuming if it dunks down, that's ideal, where I could just, take it all the way down. But right now, you see how the position here is 238 and above is 54. So it's in a long bias position right now. And sometimes it gets into these weird positions where I am long biased, but I should be in a long, but I'm not.
Yeah.
So in a sense, but then I'm in a profitable direction, even though it's already transitioning to a long kind of thing. So if this direction keeps coming down, then and fills up all my runs, then eventually I will be in a negative position. So it just filled now. I believe it just took profit, and then it's going to clean this all out now. But it looks like based on my Sentinel here, it says it's increasing and positive. So it should be longing because it's starting to slow down. So now I just got back in. Okay. Now if this continues, then that's where I start to take some losses here. But it's saying that it should start to curve back up. That's the idea. Now I noticed that how like from here to here, it's like when a candle closes, that's when the movement starts happening, right? Like it kind of slows down. It closes candle, then you see this big old pop, and then it kind of slows down a little bit, and then the candle closes and then pops again and does something. So I was kind of thinking because of that, we might want to have moving average. See this timestamp moving average update. This one here, and then we have an old one. Moving average.
Line number 9.
Yeah, 9, yeah. So we have the new one and the old one, right? And so we might want to say, after it closes, maybe give it a minute or two for it to do that pop, right? So when it pops up, that's where we take the measurement, and then it goes from there. And it's not exact either because sometimes it doesn't pop. I mean, it kind of the actual movement happens maybe 5 or 10 minutes into that candle, sometimes too. So it's kind of difficult, I'd say. Because if you look at it, if you're driving and you look at your odometer every let's say 5 minutes, right? And then right after you look at it, and then all of a sudden you step on the pedal, is that the actual acceleration you're getting? right? Because you got a reading, you looked up, and you stepped on the gas, and then you're accelerating more, but then you kind of read that it was slowing down on the acceleration kind of thing. So it's kind of weird where it kind of like we don't know when to look, and you look at it too quickly, it could be slowing down, but then it's not, kind of thing. I don't know.
And I guess you sort of have everyone's making their decision on that candle close for all the other bots. So they're
it's a confirmation thing. Yeah.
So I've seen it where, like for today, that pump. Okay, let me show you what happened during that pump. And it was trying to short it the whole time. And I'm like, dude, it's pumping, but then it keeps like shorting it, and then gets like getting stopped out. So what happened today? Let's see, where's that here? BTC. All right, so it was this pump here. I got the long in, and then around. Let me zoom in here. And it started trying to short this. So it got it good, but then it kept trying to short more and more. But so it missed these two. It got stopped out on these two candles, because even though it was slowing down from this candle, it still read that the candle slowing down. So it did slow down, but then it kept going up. So I don't know if that makes sense, because it's like the acceleration is getting smaller and smaller, but the direction is still going up. And eventually it does cover and then go down. So it's like, when do you start? Like, where are you in the story? Are you kind of early, or are you kind of late to it, kind of thing? So, and I think that's what you were experiencing, Mosiah, when it was pumping, but yet it's trying to short the thing.
Yeah, it was doing shorting all the time, and I was thinking, hey, it's pumping, it's the breakout, and I mean, we have been waiting for this breakout like for a long time, and if it doesn't break the $43,000 level, it won't get out of. I mean, it won't. I'm not seeing like new all-time highs for Bitcoin if it doesn't break the 43,000 level.
Yeah, and so but you kind of see that it was a little too early to that move. Now, if we kind of delayed it a little bit, then it would have been sweet, where it was just shorting this end, right?
Yeah.
So now it's saying that this going downwards is slowing down, and we should start covering up. So we'll see if that's correct or not. And definitely when it's sideways, it's difficult for it to pick out on this moving average. So I try to like maybe mess with these candles too. I tried doing the maybe 2 candles, even 5 candles. I don't, two candles might be a little too much. 5 candles low, maybe it might little like kind of smooth it out a little better. And in order to change those candles, you would kind of mess it with it right here in the auto adjust. I believe it was right here. Moving average time frame. So you kind of just copy and paste the moving average time frame here. And most of these are auto adjusted. So if you click on do I have it here? I don't have it here. I might need to add that for you. But with Leverage Trapper Bot, there's this thing called you click on show auto tuner variables or something like that, and there's all these files that pop up that show you. Let me wait for it to load, and hopefully it doesn't place any orders.
By the way, quick question: which VPS package are you using for TradeBot seekers?
I'm using the dedicated server.
Okay, I'm on the cloud one, and it's the 30 euros per month one. I mean, 8 CPU cores and RAM, 16 gigabytes RAM. So
okay, all right. So here's the button in Leverage Trapper, and I'll add it to TBS later on. When you click on this one, and all the variables that you can adjust will pop up in a text file called auto tuner variables. So this is the one here, auto adjust variables, and these are what's it called, case sensitive. And if it's not in here, then tell me, I'll put it in for you. And so, like right here, you could just the. Actually, this is an old bot version, so it doesn't have that rung stuff. But anything that's here, you can then copy it over and put that in the auto adjust. So you just put it here, but you need to make sure you have a little bar. You place that in there, so when the sideways trend happens and it's turned on, you know, and that hits, then it'll auto adjust this ETH offset to 0.007. But once it adjusts this, you need to then reset it back. You need to change it back to something else. Otherwise, it stays 0.007 until something new comes up. Okay. And so there isn't no and or whatever. It's just more like it just gets overwritten, and that's all it does. Okay. So that's all I've been doing is try basically kind of like adjust the rungs accordingly to the price action. Because if they're not going to fill all 3 or 4 rungs, you might as well just set them to 1 rung, you know, kind of thing. But then sometimes you might think that it's not going to go against you and fill all 3 rungs, and then all of a sudden it does. Then you're stuck with that 1 rung, and you know, then you got to take that loss. So, and then it's kind of trade off between like the, you know, do you want to risk that, or do you want to risk, you know, 1 rung on it and then, you know, take a smaller profit if it pumps up, and if it doesn't, then you kind of lose the whole 30% wallet on it, or not the whole, but because there's 1%, but then it's just more sensitive to taking that loss because you have more wallet in there now. So now I don't know if we could play with leverage. Like if we go 1 rung in, and then we just bump our leverage for we bump our leverage up, we're going to use more contracts, but then it'll still show less ROE if it goes against us, but it's really sensitive to it too. So a smaller move would actually hit that 1% a lot quicker too. So yeah. So there's a little bit of a balance there you gotta play with. Any questions so far? Am I confusing you? Should I go slower? Or is it kind of confusing?
Kind of. I did have, so it's a different question, because looking at my Bybit today, after that pump, it's not really trading. It hasn't placed. Well, it did place some orders sort of way down low, like before the pump, but now it's got nothing on the screen. Is there sort of a range it won't trade in, or do I have an issue?
I think I have to always enter unless you reach your goal.
That's I mean, my bot isn't stopping. It's like it has like always like 24/7 any order. I haven't seen it stop like for 3 days now. And today morning, like it took like 2 losses in like 15 minutes. The latest one.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the other comment I noticed. It seemed to get losses right in a row. So I'm wondering maybe if you take a loss, if we should wait for a short period before we enter.
Yeah, let's see.
I mean, the first day it was amazing. I started just to test it. I was running both bots and Leverage Trapper and TradeBot Seekers, and I started the TradeBot Seekers with 100 euros account, and the first day it made like 7%. I thought it's crazy. I mean, it's so good, and put more money into it, and then I put like 400 in each account, and yeah, so it is not. I mean, I don't want so much. My goal is like 2%, and I have seen the power of compound interest. I just want to stick with 2%, and I'm happy with that.
You know, did you set that for yours? Because I think if you just want 2%, I think that would be easy to achieve.
Yeah, and the consistency is, I mean, key. I mean, it's important. So
yeah,
if I'm making consistent like 2 and a 2.5%, I'm fine with it. I don't want 5%. Like
Yeah. Yeah. Auto adjust wallet P&L. Put 2 there instead of 2.5 or 2. And that should get you your 2%.
Yeah.
Then,
but I have monitored my bot, like yesterday it took like 5 to 6 losses like in the whole day after doing 1%. Like it makes my account is 400, so it made like $5 or something, and then all the way, and then make again $5 and then take a loss for $5. Like I didn't understand what it was trying to do.
Yeah, that doesn't sound right. Did you add that the unrealized part where if it gets stuck, it'll trigger this conditional order? Because sometimes it over positions.
You sent the whole block like in the experimental chat. I just pasted it into it. Well. Yeah, I did it too.
And make sure there's no duplicates on there, because if there's one ahead of it or below it that overrode it or something like that, that might be a problem too. Okay, so you should make sure that's the only one there.
Yeah, I just replaced it. So
okay.
Didn't hear that whole section.
Because the last, the last 3 lines were didn't had any value. Like it was like only the top 3 lines, and yeah. So I just did you update this file in the proven settings, or?
I have not. I'm still kind of like testing it, but I could just throw it in there. I'll throw it into experimental if you want it. Yeah, because I'm kind of like sometimes I think it works for a day, and I throw an experiment for proven, and then the next day I'm like, it works. So I want to see more consistency before I throw into to proven. So here I want to show you guys something. So this is on my fast VPS. Which I can run 3 coins on this one comfortably, and this is the one on the cloud. So I don't know, because Messiah, you're running the same one too, right?
I am in the cloud.
And this one is my daughter's account on the cloud, and this is from way back when, so it's bad. But today it's positive so far. I know it's kind of like in a negative 44, but somehow I noticed that each computer runs it a little differently. So far it's been like, green for 2 pages, right? And then you have a different result than I do. And so I've also noticed that between what, I'll have a bad day on one bot, and then I'll check my other cloud one or another cloud one. This one's doing better. This one's not doing good. So I don't know if there's like some kind of harmony between how we start our bots up
with
and
the same settings.
Timestamps. Same exact settings. So let me see what this guy's stuck in. So he's stuck in a long right now, but he's made a 1% so far. This one has a 105 on the account, 104, 105, whatever. So 1%, maybe losing that. So maybe 0.5% now or something. But that's what I noticed. Like even the exact same settings, they somehow one is in a better harmony with the current trade. So I don't know. Maybe just
what do you think? Like, would the faster system would be better for like TBS or?
I don't know, because I've seen this guy. I've seen the cloud hit 5% too when my fast one didn't hit 5%.
I mean, I have seen it too. I mean, I on the first day, as I told you, like it hits like 7%, like $7 or something. And I mean, possible it is, but for the long term, like consistency, if it like can process the data so fast and quickly.
Yeah, I mean, it does run a little smoother as far as like if you want to click on it manually, but like I can't say for sure whether it makes any difference because I haven't seen it. Like there's days where the fast one is struggling to to get to 5%, it's just breaking even, but the cloud hit it, and I'm like, okay, and then some days is vice versa, and so I kind of thought that maybe, so I checked the time, like the one that's doing good. I'm like, okay, so what was your timestamp? And I was like, okay, maybe a couple minutes after 30, a couple minutes after 15, a couple minutes after 45, and so I kind of keep it 1 to 2 minutes after the candle close. And I think that might be something there. So I was going to build something later on to kind of time sync it. and sometimes this does drift off. So yeah, my BTC now it's drifted off to like 58. So it's checking before the candle close. So I don't know if that's good or bad, and sometimes it is. Sometimes it syncs up with the market, and sometimes it doesn't.
I mean, but when you were asking for like to change the time, I was just thinking because it is the time and the price both are connected. So if you are changing the time because it's a time for a candle, so once we change the time, don't we also have to change the price because it's also connected to the time? Doesn't it make sense?
Yeah, I see what you mean. I think the first one will be weird, and then on the subsequent one, it should be more like correct.
Okay.
So it's just more to like kind of line it, and I think that I was looking at the wrong one. This is average 2, but so my Bitcoin right now is 2 minutes, 2 to 3 minutes after the 30. I don't know if that makes any difference, but it's been pretty consistent as long as it stays running, and yeah. So kind of I don't know. Maybe if you take a loss or have a bad day, maybe check on that. And if this is like far off, like 10 minutes ahead or whatever, bring it back down to like maybe 2 to 3 minutes from the candle close. Let's see if that helps. So, and then let me check my daughter. See, so right now she's positive on her account. Yesterday was not that great, I guess. It looks like she just broke even yesterday. But I like that the losses are a little smaller. And I don't remember when I started it on her on this one. So let's see what she has on hers. Oh yeah, and don't forget to 2-factor your VPS. I'm hearing some people getting their accounts or their remote desktop hacked.
Okay. Oh, it looks like High-End's frozen.
I think his PC got hacked.
Yeah, I think the issue with I said I wasn't doing runs on Bybit for me, but having trouble actually refreshing the Bybit page. So,
like, what do you mean by that?
oh, like
refreshing the page?
Yeah, like it was acting a bit funny, so I just hit refresh on Bybit, and it's not loading the page.
Like on your PC, right?
On my PC, yeah.
Okay. And you're also running the bots on VPS?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
The one that he calls the slow one, the Hetzner.
Hetzner, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a German company, so.
So it's interesting because I'm in Australia, so when I play with it,
you're in
it's
Australia?
a bit laggy. Yes.
I have a lot of relatives there. In Melbourne, right? So you're in Sydney, or where are you?
Yeah, Sydney, to the southwest Sydney.
Yeah. Australia has a lockdown, like no one can, because I wanted to visit them, and like for like 2023, you can't even like leave Australia or something, or come to Australia.
Yeah, I know Melbourne's pretty bad. Sydney, you walk around, it's just like normal. There's no masks, and restaurants are full and everything now. But
yeah, I mean, Australia is like they're completely isolated and everything is open. And in Germany, they have now like opened a little bit, so like people can move around a little bit. But it was, I mean, I am in a university and I haven't seen the university for like year. I haven't been there.
Really?
I am doing everything online, and exams are online, everything. So it doesn't.
Yeah. So is that right? I hear Germany has free education.
Yeah. I mean, you just have to pay the normal. It's nothing. It's nothing. Like per semester, you may have to pay like 300 euros or something. That's it.
Okay.
For one semester.
Yeah. I went to university in America, but like years ago, it was like thousands and thousands per term.
40-50K. I think I don't know the numbers, but it's like a lot. Yeah. So I mean, for how long have you been running your bot for now, or you are also new?
No, so I was running the leverage trapper bot for, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 months, and had the thing I was probably losing more than I was making. I have good and bad days. So actually,
I mean,
moved to
overall, are you in the plus with the bot?
and I actually closed it down and moved to the trapper bot.
You mean the TBS?
Yeah, TBS.
Okay.
So overall, it seems to be about even. Really, have good days and then bad days.
Because once
But I've
I
only
bought
been
once I bought the license, I was thinking like, okay, if I can get like for running 1 month of the bot, if I can cover just the fees of the license and the fees of the Headstone server, if I can cover that, I will be running it further. I will be testing it. But if the bot can't even like just cover the fees and all of that, I might have to think about it. I've been running because yeah.
I'm said the same thing. So I maybe making a little bit, but not paying for the fees for the server and license. So.
Yeah, because then I may switch to the other strategy. But I mean, it can work. I mean, the time he has put into it and all that stuff. So yeah, I mean, worth a try. Otherwise, yeah, we have to look something else because I'm developing my other strategy on TradingView, and I'm just working on the connection because the strategy on trading it's just signals based strategy. So it looks for all the EMAs and all that stuff when things cross and all that signals, and it gives you a entry point, a stop loss, and a take profit. So it automatically tells you, okay, you have to exit here and you have to enter here. And based on that, I am getting like 80% win results. Like for 10 trades you enter, like it's not big profits, but it adds up. So for time frame of 1 month, it has been. Wait a second, he's messaging me. He's asking if I'm kicked out now. Not. Yeah, so for 1 month time frame, it did like 250 trades or something, and the win ratio was like 80%. So out of 10 trades, it would win 8 trades, and the gain on account was 380% with only 5x leverage. So it was not. So if you start your account like with 1,000, had started your account with 1,000, it would be like 4,000 in 1 month. Yeah, and that's with the back testing results, yeah. So you can see all the previous trades and everything. And
is that the one? Because I have another friend doing similar thing, and he's I found on YouTube somebody that had an 80% win rate doing what do they use, the EMAs, or I'd have to bring it up.
Yeah, I
But
can
basically
maybe
looking for that bullish. He's looking for that bullish divergence, and then
yeah, it's the same. Yeah, the bullish divergence and these divergences it's pretty hard to capture with programmatically because there's not yet, because you have to like see and like there are little bit bots that you can, but there's no solution where you can 100% catch the divergences. So the strategy that I'm using is without divergence. So it's more accurate.
Yeah,
You can
cool.
more calculate better. Yeah.
All right, sorry about that. Internet just completely cut out on me.
That's all right.
All right.
Yeah, so I think that's a sort of wondering too if it'd be a good strategy as well of sort of mixing sort of part manual and part automatic. Or would I be better off, like if I want to make some big gains, like up front, just to do manual using
you talking to me?
Onto high end.
Yeah. Is he getting the audio? I don't know.
Okay. Oh yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, cool. All right. So yeah, I was looking at my daughter's account, and hers is like 1 minute after. Oh, actually, she's like 6 minutes after. I don't know why that's doing better, but it is for her.
Yeah, but doesn't it change automatically every time, or does it stays like this?
Yeah, this is kind of like when she started. I guess whenever the bot was started, that was the first timestamp, and if you notice that it's always going to be 15 minutes from the old one. It's when it'll update again. So depending on the time sync and the measurement, so this is like 6 minutes after the candle close is when the measurement gets taken, and based on that, she is doing positive on her account, which is why her bot's little.
So this moving average file is generated automatically. So if I delete it, it will be generated again automatically, right?
It should, yeah, but then it's gonna take 15 minutes to populate the two velocities because, I mean, you're gonna get this part first as soon as you delete the file. But it's gonna, it's gonna take maybe one measurement here for the velocity, and then it's gonna take another 15 minutes to get the second point. And then once it gets a new two velocity points, then it'll then calculate the acceleration after that. And then it's gonna take another 15 minutes to again get two acceleration points, then get the decreasing, increasing. Because there's no such thing as instantaneous velocity. You know how like in physics we kind of do this, gravity is 1/2 a squared plus v2 or v, whatever, times time plus whatever, right? And it turns out that there isn't really instantaneous time because when you measure it, you get 2 points, and there's kind of like that ds dt kind of thing, and the dsdt is infinitesimal, where you can just kind of you look at your dashboard, you get a measurement, and you look away, you look again, you get a second measurement, and then based on that you have this supposedly instantaneous velocity. But then you look at it, if you do a scenario where you look at it once and then 15 minutes later you look at it, then you get your velocity based on that 15 minutes. All right, so now you need another 15 minutes to get the second v2, which is like a half hour later, and then you get your acceleration afterwards. But then you look at it too quick, then it's kind of like this phenomenon, like it never accelerates because I keep looking at it and it's just v1, v2 is just so tiny because I keep looking at quick. And even though you're accelerating, you look at it quick again, it's not really accelerating much because the time is so small. But then you look at it, and then you look at 15 minutes later and you kind of accelerate from 10 miles per hour, 20 miles per hour, then you're like, hey, that's my acceleration, But then you look at it too quick, before you get to 10 to 20, you're only accelerating, that 1 mile, that 1 mile per hour difference. And you're like, dude, it's not really going much. It's weird. I mean, I was trying to apply my aerospace engineering background to it, and I was like, dude, between theory and actually doing it in real life, experimental, pulling that data out, it didn't make sense. And there's a 3Blue, what's it called? There's a YouTube video that it kind of talks about this paradox. It's called the derivative paradox. I'll show you here. It's on. You can see my screen again. Yeah, it's this. So he kind of explains it, and then you probably understand what I was dealing with when I was trying to program this. So you just kind of type in derivative paradox 3B1 bound. It kind of talks about this DSDT there, where of this car moving, and I'm trying to pick that off from the price. If you look at it too quick, then you kind of don't get any acceleration, unless you look at it, between 1 and 15. But then as I'm looking from 1 and 15, it can do some weird stuff in between my lookings, and that can throw off the direction of where I think it's gonna go, which is why I was probably shorting when you're like, dude, it's going up still.
Isn't something like PID controllers or something like that? Proportional integral derivative, where you calculate the error and the
I don't really calculate the error, and I mean that would be nice if you know how to do all that PID stuff to kind of.
I mean, I have programmed some bots, and I mean, what I'm doing is basically like dual engineering, you can say. I'm doing like software side and also like electronic stuff. So it's a diploma in electronics. So I have made that a self-balancing bot with only 2 tires, where it had to calculate like it won't fall forward and also backward. So it had to calculate this balance with an accelerometer and all that stuff. Yeah. So.
Oh, that's awesome, dude. Cool. I mean, that's basically what I think it is. It's like this. I mean, it's like this bouncing ball kind of thing, and it just kind of like levels out, and then all of a sudden it pops, and you're like. Yeah, so I mean, there's this bouncing ball equation. If you can PID this thing, it's you might have something that then we can kind of predict and place those orders ahead of time instead of having a trailing, what's it called, trailing indicator rather than we'll have a predictive indicator, right? So we could predict how it's bouncing and kind of place those orders ahead of time.
Yeah.
I think you're onto something there. You think you do it? And throw some AI into it too.
Yeah, that would be best.
Easy.
Because I have also done. I mean, to be honest, like also in the stock market, normal stock, aside the crypto, 98% of all the trading is done by bots. Everything is done by bots, and no one does it like on the Wall Street, and everything is done by bots. And they're just managing, like the hedge funds, they're just managing if the order should go through or not. They are not doing it emotionally. They are not connected with it. So that's why these Fibonacci retracement levels or all these technical indicators work so well, because the bots are programmed with it. And once we hit that exact candle when it closes, the program triggers, okay, now they have to make this decision, because humans cannot be so exact. That's my theory. I don't know how it exactly works, but.
All right, so I have a theory now. I'm gonna go ahead and give you this number here, and I'm gonna copy it over to my other bot and see if it actually does any difference. So I'm gonna refresh it here, and I'm at 22:51. So 51 minutes. So that's about 6 minutes away from the candle close. Put that in there and see if it makes your bot positive. Let me share my screen. No. There it goes. It's gonna be a double. Like what? Move this over. All right, so this is my daughter's count. She's at 22:51, so 6 minutes ahead. I'm gonna try that, see if that makes any difference. I need to reload my file. And you guys have 2-factor for your remote desktop, right?
I have for everything else, but yeah, maybe I better do that for the servers.
Yeah. All right, so she is still positive. All right, so now I'm gonna maybe, I'll go ahead and do it to my main one. Actually, it's right here. BTC 22:51. 51 minutes. All right, we'll save it. Let's see if it performs any better. And that's like, at first it was 2 minutes ahead of time, right? But now it's like 6 minutes. See if that makes any difference. Who knows? And then tomorrow might be a different story. I don't know. So there's something about the harmony, I think, maybe. I don't know. All right, so anyways, moving on to the other questions. Typical settings might want to adjust. We got that. So it's just kind of try to mess with the rung size. I think that'll probably be for sideways to kind of close one. Kind of maybe 3 rungs to enter, and then maybe one to two rungs to close instead of five. Five would probably be overkill for sideways action.
I know the runs sort of they auto adjust.
Yeah,
it seems. Yeah.
Yeah, and also for sideways to reduce the time of the time to update. So I think I have it at 5 minutes, and sometimes 1 minute if it trends. Maybe longer times of like maybe 30 minutes to an hour, maybe even. But it'll be kind of boring to watch, but maybe that's what we need. So right here, I think I have this turned off right now for my ETH, but it should be on for BTC. So run continuously, enter the wait time in minutes. So that way it doesn't overposition itself too quickly, and that might help with it too. Okay. Mix auto run with some manual intervention. The manual intervention you could probably do is like if it's really pumping and you're not in a heavy position yet, you could just like give it right here and it's like taking off. You could go ahead and just if you have the trap subscription to click on that guy, and then you can say, hey, I want the what's it called, single trap linear take profit. So this is just one trap that goes in, and it'll put runs to take profit, and then update the last price 3870. Wow. Okay. I can show it to you guys, and I'll delete it. So there it is. So right now it's in long position, and let's say it starts to pump up, I can go ahead and hit that button, and it should create another long position. Let me try to move it here. There it is. And create the trap.
Thank you.
And then it should create it. We'll see. So it's gonna clean it up. Oh, it has a clean. So it's gonna clean it out, put a market long, and then some take profit orders from that point on. So now I have some. It's gonna take that and then take off with it. So I'm gonna go ahead. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and clean this off right now. And then it should. I think my bot should clean the rest out. So as it pumps up, all of this just takes profit. That's it. Okay, so hopefully, you guys should be okay. Yeah, these are all tiny little ones anyway. So I have like over like every $100. No, it looks like every $500. It's taking profit. But I'll let the bot clean that. So that's something you can intervene if it's taken off. But sometimes the thing about this trap is that it's great, but sometimes you end up getting trapped at the top. You're going way too heavy at that top end. So looks like it's not cleaning because I don't have it. So I'm just going to delete it. Okay. All right. Yeah, I think I was at negative $10, so I think I came down $2 already. So we'll see. And then it gets kind of weird because as your balance increases, like, oh man, $10 is like, that's like 10% of my $100 account. But then I think I have about like 500 in here now, so it's still a little bit of a you have the mental adjustment to say, oh, that's only 2%, or whatever. All right, and then anything that pack leaders can help TBS more profitable. Yeah, I think that maybe just reporting back if you found something good, just putting it in the chat room, say, hey, this worked, and we all can try it and see if that works out, and then we kind of improve on each other's thing. Like Prowler kind of took some time to kind of do that beast mode, and then we kind of like, wow, that was kind of cool. So we kind of like took that, and then we can improve upon it. And there was some stuff that we're like, why did you even do that? That didn't make sense. But it worked in a sense. It was something that we never thought about. It was kind of counterintuitive, but it was beast mode for a while, and then of course it did get stuck after that. But but yeah, and definitely, I guess if you guys want to build financial freedom, I think I would suggest just using don't use the auto run, because the auto run is kind of experimental right now. Like at one point I pull auto run, and I didn't want to like kind of release it yet, because a lot of the auto run stuff, it kind of like I don't know, it kind of sabotages you, but it more like it's not ready, like it's all experimental. So I would go with the manual trading if you want to go and kind of just make sure that you bring home the bacon and just use that. That will get you there. I was able to go from 1,000 to about, even up to like four BTCs at one point, just using the manual method of just creating the runs, set it, low leverage it, don't worry about it taking a loss, but at least you use like 10 to 30% of your account. It'll probably most likely pop back up, and then just just kind of take profit with that. Okay, but right now, since it's always this up, I probably will put my buy orders down here and let it come down, so that you're not getting stuck along the top. So Fibonacci is all I really need. And if it breaks that, then you're like, hey, you know what? If it broke this and kept going down, then you're in trouble. Then that's where you take your stop, and then start reversing the other direction.
Okay. Would you mind taking a second to show us how you use it manually?
Yeah. Let me go ahead and I'll go ahead and switch over to ETH here.
So for manual, do I need a trap license or what? Do I need?
You kind of don't. Yeah. For manual, you just need the $20 one. That's all you need. So I'll go ahead and stop auto run, and it kills it. It doesn't kill it. I put a save in there so that it keeps saving the settings. So I might adjust it just because I made it save the bias so that I can have a record of where it left off of. So if you restart your bot, you don't just end up switching.
Yes, so how did you stop the auto run? Like there's no stop button, right?
There is no stop right now. I think I'll make it save. Maybe on the next version. Yeah, I just stopped it and just closed it. All right, so I mean, you might even do your Fibonacci deals, because you kind of do your TA. You can like, okay, here's a the triangles forming right here kind of thing. And then so if I go for this lower level here, then I'll probably just start right here. What is that? 242. So 2,400. So I'll probably just go over here. My price 240 or 2,400, and I'm gonna long that, and I'll probably just put 5 rungs, and then I'll probably spread them out a little bit farther. 141, whatever that percentage of that price comes out to. I'm just gonna double this basically. 141. And then this has to be lower, so just put 140 for that one. Otherwise, you get an error. Okay. Now I made it so that all you have to do is click buy and long. It'll kind of take care of everything. So if it's pumping, that video that I kind of made 1,000 in a day with XRP. So
yeah,
there it is. 923. What was it close?
Yeah. So when it's doing this pump, then that's where you could and XRP works really good with the runs, because it's so volatile that it keeps on filling up and down. It was crazy, like, and you don't care how much in the negative you are. It's just as long as it goes up, right? As long as it goes in the proper direction, it just keeps popping up, filling each and every run. Yeah. So once you do that, then I would probably.
I guess that's not too bad, because you're basically sort of DCAing down, I guess.
Yeah. So you're gonna DCA down. Yeah, and then when it starts popping up in profit, then let's say it starts right here, then I'll come back like, okay, we're in profit now, and my profit line's right here. Then I'll start to DCA back up, and take profit on the way up. So then I'll go back over here, and I'm gonna assume that my DCA line is right here for now, and I'm in profit.
Mhm.
Then I'll go ahead and just maybe go 2.5, maybe 2, maybe every 20 to. I'll go 290. And there's really no rule, really. No, it's too much. 249. There you go. Oh, I have one rung. Okay, hold on. Then I'll do another 5 rungs on top. Just take it. Sorry. Now, assuming that I'm in profit and the profit line's right here, and it popped up, then we're gonna take the profit right there, and that's it.
Okay.
That's it. That's as simple as that. And I'm going with the thing that in the long term BTC is going up in the long term, so there's really no point in shorting it, unless maybe. And I go with this like the full year. So usually we're in a bull year from now until maybe October, November, I'm long in. Okay. And then after about November, I'm starting to like maybe take profit to kind of move it into to do an asset exchange. And as you're going up too, you might want to just move some of that in your assets, kind of move it out to USDT, because after about maybe end of this year, it's probably gonna crash pretty hard. But we'll see. But at least when it does crash, you won't be all scared and freaked out. You got money moved out, and you can still, maybe you can short what you have left over and try to grab some more BTC on the way down, kind of thing. So.
Okay. And how does the wallet work, like per rung?
Oh yeah, and the wallet is right here. So I know that my wallet. I'll show my keys. My keys, right here, 30. So. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, and that's the other question. I sort of played with this.
Mm-hmm.
I think because not the auto run wasn't on, but to do with the fast kill process, I found it hard to change some of the fields. They'd keep reverting.
Yeah, because I made it save the settings, which is why you can't really kill it. I put the I made it save an auto run. But if you have it manually, it should save. If it's not, it should save it if you don't have auto run ready. So you start it up. Don't click on the auto run and all this stuff. You should like, save this setting, and it should take. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So that 30%, is that split across the 5? If you set the 5 rungs, it's split across 5 rungs, or?
Yes, it's split across 5 rungs. So you have 30% to enter, and then 30%. Well, it's gonna use the same amount to exit. So.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Oh, and I think here I didn't click this, so it's all set at 9 to exit. So that which isn't right. Go back to ETH. You want to exit what you entered. So I think this is 9. So this isn't using it properly. So I need to click that one button to kind of clear this out. So I should override contracts. So instead of using a fixed 9, I'm gonna use my wallet. It'll auto clean, so I don't have to do all that stuff anymore. I just click on buy, and it should clean this all out, and then put 30% your wallet over 5 rungs. Oh, that's not good. So this is what you're talking about, right? 2%. Wait, this is a small wallet. that could be right. Already contracts percent wallet.
Okay.
It could be maybe because I have 46 already, and it's a small $30 wallet. I don't know if that's maybe it's correct. So, and that's what I have left over from entering this position. So, but yeah, it should auto calculate. If it doesn't, let me know. That's something I need to fix. If it doesn't do that, and then putting this will then calculate the exit runs, and it should, get you out. So it should get you out in 6. Is it 6 or 9? Looks like 9. I don't know. It doesn't sound like it's making sense. Maybe I do have a bug. So if it doesn't do it, let me know. There now.
Okay.
Calculate or did I click? No, that's BTC. Okay, I don't know. I'm not gonna mess with it. All right. So yeah. Hopefully that makes sense.
Okay. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, and then if you're watching it and you're watching this whole thing unfold here, and you just click buy and sell, and take it all the way up, just kind of know when to exit and not continue buying and selling if it's coming down on you, and you should be okay.
Yeah, so like if you're watching it, if you see it peak, you can always just close by limit or.
Yeah. And if anything, if it goes against you, at least, if it goes against you more than 10%, just take the 10% loss rather than letting this eat you all up. And this is all for naught,
Yeah.
So, okay. All right. And then I guess that's kind of it. Clean that and clean that.
Yeah, I guess that's the thing that sort of bothers me is the getting over the if you're doing something short time period, it's fine, but like longer time periods, having the I guess the patience or
if you know over long time.
FOMO.
Yeah. I mean, even the longer time periods, like I remember I was doing 10, and I just kind of do this and like I got put orders for every 10 of them. And, I mean, you totally could do it, but I don't want to do it manually anymore.
Yeah.
So something like that, pull all the way down, and just let it go. I'm sure somewhere wrong. I don't think you would get liquidated on 5x on this one unless it really turns down. But I'm sure you'll get a positive somewhere and you take off with that, and just keep building it, and and you just repeat the process, repeat. And if you happen to watch it, then maybe put one rung up, buy one rung, exit one, kind of play the sideways, but stay in that long. They'll completely close it out, and eventually this is gonna pop. Like you think about it, if you did it here, right? It's my 60%. You kind of start your buy order here, and you just ladder that down, and then this finally takes off. You would have been doing all right now, right? And just take profit all the way up, and then rinse and repeat, do it again. So.
Okay.
So do that. You don't need auto run. I think you'll probably do well, and you probably check it once a day. I mean, you're probably already checking it once a day already with the auto run. So you might as well just kind of set that, forget it, look at it again tomorrow, the next day, and actually make money. Just with the runs. So. Yep.
Yeah.
What do you think, Musayab? You gonna try that too? I mean, Pralo was doing that too, and he did pretty well.
You mean the manual one?
Yeah, just do manually. You'll make more money doing manually over the auto run. The auto run is just it's all experimental right now, and I think if we did auto run and not update it as much as we do, because if I said it like that and I don't touch it for like the next day, and I'm updating every 5 minutes, it's just too much, So if you just play the long term, just let it come down, go up, and just take profit, and just set the runs. Basically, kind of setting the trap, right? Of filling and then set the trap.
Yeah, but there are, for example, I'm trying this strategy like for on the spot trading, not leverage. There are other bots, for example, one I'm trying, it's Bitscap. May heard of it. So it is just like I have started it for 2 days now, and let me show. Maybe I cannot share the screen here, but you can get the idea, right? So
Yeah, the grid.
it has a lot of grids, and it has done like 2% here in the 2 days, and it is only spot. So for example, you give him the bot like 500 euros, and it will not buy the coin the whole amount, but it will keep the half in USDT and half by the coin, and if it goes down, it will buy dollar cost average the coin, and when it goes up, it will sell automatically. So that's the system. Like that's like full automated, like it's working on itself. But for leverage and all that stuff, I was looking for some automation so that I don't have to like have this manual, because then you have to do this technical analysis, and that's what I was trying to run from.
I could put like a high-low no trade zone on this bot where it won't enter 50% above the high and low of the last 6 hours or something like that, so that I know that when it comes down below 50% or 60%, my retracement, then I'll go ahead and start dollar cost averaging down from that point on, and then just only update those rungs once every 24 hours, and that's kind of what I do anyway. I think that might actually automate that manual method I did, and just kind of keep it simple.
Because if I, for example, I'm doing the manual leverage trading, manual grid system stuff, so these fake outs, like the drops, for example, like quite a lot happens. So if it goes down all the way, I mean, it's going to stop out, and it's going to take the loss or not, a big loss.
Yeah,
I mean, as long as it stays in the pipeline in the air range, it is good. I mean, it can buy and sell, but
yeah, I think it is probably safer to just take the 1% loss. So, because the problem is that as we're DCA in, we're accumulating more and more loss as we come down, catching that knife, right? And it's like, well, if we actually fill all 10 rungs, we're probably negative. I don't know, like maybe 30% or more.
Yeah,
just kind of sitting there, right? And then if we keep it further than that, well, that we basically lost half of that or something. I don't know, or maybe 15%, right? If it's just 30%, if I have a 30% wallet and I have 10 rungs, if it fills all that, it's gonna DC at a certain point. But I'm kind of guessing maybe we're gonna have maybe 50% negative P&L already just filling those rungs. And if we put that negative 1% take loss, it's gonna fill, take loss, and then when it does finally take, we're gonna have like a smaller position before it goes up too, and so it's got to balance that risk. And so what I did for the manual method was I took that 50% loss, and you have to have tough skin to. And that was in my training was like, yeah, you need to not get scared and be shaken out of that DCA. So.
No, I'm pretty used to liquidations. I don't have any problem around. I saw like 4 Ethereum just go away, like just like that. I thought it would come back, but
yeah. And so I did take more risks on that one, and there were times where I was like, oh man, like I got so scared that I could have got wrecked, so I took that loss, But so I maybe just not over positioning your wallet. So maybe using 10%, 15%, maybe 30% might be comfortable. I don't know. But there will be a point where you will lose that 30% because that trend will end, and we don't know when really. So, I mean, last week we would have lost that 30% doing that strategy, when it tanked from 60 to 30, we were done, And so all that will be all for naught. So, yeah, it'll work. It'll work for a certain point, but you have to know when to take a break for the day. And and if you notice, like EOS went up 50%, everything was just crazy. Like BTC took off like crazy too. Or like, okay, when you see these big old moves within an hour, or just huge gains, that's the correction coming. Then you gotta be like, okay, sell USDT. And then just kind of wait a couple weeks, and then get back into it. But sometimes we get greedy. Is there more? We want more.
Yeah, I sold my Ethereum at the very top. I sold my Ethereum like at 4,300. I got out. I knew that there's something coming. I was seeing the charts and everything was like overbought and everything, and and it came back.
Yep. So I mean, because I don't know how to put that into code. You know, like I wish I could like, hey, well, you know, it pumped up real good. Okay, this is it. You know, but it's more like a feeling, more like hey, I just feel that it's done. Like you can't go $1,000 or now. Before the last pump was like $1,000 in an hour before it came down quick. And then this time it's like, well, you do $1,000 easy now. So if it does like 5,000 in an hour, you're like, oh, maybe you should maybe it's gonna correct soon. Yeah. So.
Yeah. So my last question would be like, what do you suggest me? Because I'm looking for like automation, more automation. I don't have personally more time to like put in manual stuff. So, and I also want to like stay away from motion. I just want to trust the bot and let it do itself. It work. I'm fine with break even, but I'm also targeting like 2 and a 2.5% or something.
Yeah. Put your 2. I think that's if you see it hitting 2 easily and it's keeping it, then keep the 2. I think at this point personally, I think I'm pretty happy with TBS. I mean, I'm David, right?
Yeah.
No. Okay, I got your name right. Hey, David. So remember leverage trap provide where we're kind of gaining a few percent and then it's just discouraging to just lose that 10 right away. But after running this for a while, I'm like, hey, it's actually holding the balance. You know, I'll take a break even day and then the next day gain. Break even day, next day gain. As long as that keeps staying positive and you're not getting knocked back down for every game that you get, I see that it's making progress. So right now I'm leaving BTC where it is, even though like I'm like, dude, like I did 5% compounding. Like, dude, in 6 months, if it did 5% every day, we'd be 700K in 6 months, right? But if anything, if it takes a day and loses a day, it's still about 2.5% average out, right? So it might take a year to be a millionaire instead of 6 months.
anything above 2% is just crazy in compound interest. It's just crazy numbers.
Yeah. So I think it is kind of in a sense averaging 2.5%, but it's just not every day. But you know, you kind of average out those break-even days, then it's probably about 2.5%, I'd say. So, but as long as like we're not taking big, huge 10% losses in a day, which I haven't seen yet on TBS. I'm gonna keep running and just don't touch it. I think it's good the way it is so far. I mean, looking at my balance, I'm like, hey, it's staying up there. So I don't know. What do you think, David? You've been running the BTC settings, or?
Yeah, going okay, but it had quite a few like negative days in a row. But like you said, they weren't the big losses. So.
They weren't big losses, right? They're like 1% maybe, like, or even tinier than that sometimes.
I think I did have a day that was like almost 5%.
5%, okay, and
but it was like loss after loss after.
Loss after loss, and then you end up. Yeah, I think I had one day like that too, where it was just like, I was like, 5%, but then I was like, but then I did recover that 5% loss after about maybe 3 or 4 days later. So I was like, cool. And I think it was because that one time we couldn't exit our position because it was the over position, and I couldn't even limit order out of this. I couldn't even do it manually. I was like, dude, it kept canceling my order. And I was like, this is weird. I had to reduce order box checked, and I was like, what's going on? I actually had to go to that position, get the market order in order to get out. And so that's I took it out early before I kept going. So so then I think that one thing would now minimize it to at least 2%, putting 1.25. So I'll drop that latest one now that will kind of put that protection in, so that if it doesn't limit out, we'll throw the market order in at 1.25%, and then plus the fee of 0.75%, then that it should be maxing out 2% loss if it really goes against us on that wallet.
Would it be possible if you can look into the WPS, if I give you the access and set the settings for, I mean, because I'm not sure if all the settings are proper here. That's why I stopped. My both bots are stopped right now. And
yeah, you know, I think you're fine. I think if you just leave it running, one day it'll go out of sync, and then once it syncs back up in harmony somehow, it'll kind of recover that. And I kind of see that each bot is working differently out of sync. I mean, my daughter's doing good today, but then tomorrow it might suck, and then I'm doing good, and then I don't know what's actually happening. But all I know is that I see, small break-even losses, or one day and the next day get 5, then the next day get break-even, next day get 5 again, and that's kind of what I've noticed. So I just say just leave it running, and then I personally get tempted when I get a loss to go tweak it, and then I just get further buried into the hole because I keep making the settings even worse, and then I have several days of negatives where I could just stay with this, break-even day, half day, as long as it's holding the balance and increasing it. I mean, it's awesome to, looking at long term, it's like, wow, for a bot, if we can do that 700K in 6 months consistently, that would be great. Or even a year, like, dude, that's pretty amazing, right?
So what's the variable for like stop loss where I can set back for the so yeah, and that was my question, like it was not clear to me. Is the stop loss like 1% per position or on the whole day, like for whole account?
It's for the whole wallet. And so at 0 UTC, it takes a snapshot of your wallet. And so based on that wallet, it's gonna take whatever your P&L is of your current position, it's gonna divide it by that snapshot for the day. Now, if you maybe you made a deposit or whatever, it's not gonna reflect, okay? But then when you go in, it's gonna go in with a bigger position based on that bigger balance, but it's gonna be based off that tiny wallet.
Yeah, because it has done like today $16, so it is a 400 or 500, you can say, dollars account. So 2% would be like maximum $10. So it has done more than 2% loss. So that's why I'm wondering, because I think it was like around 2% the limit.
Yeah.
I can find it.
Okay. Well, if you do add money to the wallet, make sure you delete your
No, I
file.
didn't add. Okay. I didn't add. No.
Yeah, because it's gonna skew off like the calculations and everything, because it's gonna throw bigger positions and based off smaller weights, so it's gonna hit negative 1%.
No, once I deposited the funds, I reset the settings, so it's generated automatically.
Good. I just want to make sure David knew about that. So, and then so as that account grows, let's say you were up 5%, maybe even more, and then you put in bigger positions, it's gonna be more sensitive to exiting, which is I think why we're capping out at 5%. So I think after about maybe 3 or 4 hours, I think we need to try and update that wallet so that as your account grows, it's not as sensitive to taking that negative 1% loss, because it's based off an old wallet now. That's a day old, and you have to wait for it to kind of catch up, kind of thing. So I don't know if that makes sense.
And one more thing, I actually stopped the bot, but somehow it is in the position. Why? What? Because the bot is not running. The only price motion is running, and
we
if you stop the bot, you got to cancel any open orders.
Yeah. Is there any old ones that you didn't clear out?
Yeah, that might be possible that there was an order placed, and it is a short, so I'm a little bit afraid. Okay.
So have you made your own bots, Musa?
Yeah, I'm working on TradingView, like the Pine script, and I have created a strategy. Created or like gathering stuff from internet and all combining like what works best.
Okay.
And so I can show you if you want something.
Okay. Yeah, let's check it out.
Yeah.
like share my screen. I have to.
Is it doing well, or is?
I have just I'm just back testing it, so I haven't connected it with the account yet. You see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay, so and it's only for the 3-minute chart and only for Bitcoin right now. So
Okay.
yeah, let's take the Bybit. Okay, let's see if I'm. Yeah, so let's auto set it and strategy tester. Yeah, okay, it's a little bit down right now. So so the profit percentage was better a few days ago. So this is kind of where you can see the dates. Okay, the first entry was like from, okay, so the start of the month was better. So I have the TradingView like pro account. So it only gives me data for 3-minute charts for only 1 month. So I can just run for 1 month. But as you can see, it has, I gave the bot like $1,000, and it has done from first entry was 24th to, so it's only like how many days? 20 days. It has done like 131% on the whole account. It has done 200 trades, and it has been 71.5% profitable. The profit factor was above two. The ratio was above 2, but it has been down a little bit now. And average profit per trade. So basically, how this works, it's calculating what do you say, EMAs, and when the lines are crossing. I mean, the rules are here. The when it can take short position and when it can take long. Oh, what I've done. And it gives you an entry point and exit point and a take profit point. So once you hit your stop loss, you have to get out, right? And for example, I'm happy if I can enter 10 trades and even win like 7 or 8, I'm fine with 3 losses. So that's not a big deal. So that's kind of strategy I'm working on, and I have to just connect it with API of Bybit and program it. I was looking into open source solutions if something is possible, like something so that I don't have to write it myself, because my targets like take profit and stop loss are always dynamic, and the solutions that are already in the market, they have like fixed percentage, like you have to like fix it for 1% take profit and 1% stop loss. So it's not always fixed. So that's why I have to maybe program some entries with webhooks from TradingView, so that I can like give the signal, okay, entry point this, exit point this, and stop loss is this, because all the variables are different, dynamic every time. Yeah. But nothing's related to physics, and because you are like combining velocity, acceleration, and getting in that stuff. So that was the main reason why I purchased the license, because I thought, okay, that's something new, I should try. That's why, because you are looking at from an prospect of an engineer. Yeah, that was, yeah.
Okay. Hey, David, what did you talk with Ronus about?
He's doing something similar. So again, using TradingView, he's actually writing his own Pine scripts as well. So he worked on one that was similar to the PSAR, which is basically it does lots of, when it's going up, it does lots of little buy signals like every minute with really short.
It's more kind of scalping, yeah.
Yeah, more kind of scalping.
Okay.
But he's also looking at one very similar to what Musab's working on, but trying to include bearish divergences as well.
Is Ronus doing really well with that bot, or is it he's still got some kinks to work out?
It's probably a similar stage of these back testing, or actually just testing it at the moment.
Okay. Cool. All right. Did he like need help with anything, or like want to talk to me or show me something, or like
Okay.
he said he wanted to come on, but I wasn't sure. I guess the time zone didn't match up with him, so
Yeah, I'm not sure where he is, but yeah, I know he's interested to join.
And then Duchudo, he's another guy. I think he said he was joining. I don't know if he's listening in or not, but I don't see any attendees here. So.
Yeah. One thing with your TradingView webhooks, have you heard of Profit Trailer?
Yeah, profit trailers and trading stop loss. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, because that might be a tool to look at for taking the webhooks.
Yeah, I mean that's possible. And you can also set conditional orders and all that stuff, so that's possible.
Okay.
Hey, do you guys have any suggestions for TBS?
For TBS?
Yeah, any suggestions to make it better or improve it, or certain things?
Yeah, I mean, when I use a software from a software developer perspective, I will be honest. I mean, it's not. I mean, it can be better. I mean, from user interface, user experience type of view, because I mean, is it a drag and drop software builder that you use?
Yeah, it's a drag and drop UI plugin I bought, and then so it's just really heavy.
Yeah,
and then it's just when you put too many buttons and whatever it feels like, it becomes unusable. So I try to minimize it to just very little stuff. I actually stripped out a bunch of stuff that used to be on there, and so now it's just like, hey, just open it, click one button, and then that's all we ever use.
Because if I were you, I mean, it's just was I make like the web based, for example, Node.js and WebView, you can make that, or for example, Electron is a very good framework but you have to program it, right? So
yeah, I'm like
more, yeah. So
like, hey, maybe you can help me out here.
Yeah, possible. I mean, it is, for example, you can like the same way you are doing it now. You can, for example, make a JSON file and then maybe put all the settings there, and then it can be like, it can work similarly. I mean, you had to just program the logic one-to-one, maybe make a refactor version or something like that. That's thought.
Yeah, I'm starting to pick with Python. I just don't know what the learning curve on that right now. I mean, I kind of get it, but then I'm like, oh, I gotta build it off from scratch again. Like,
yeah.
So it's gonna be a long while. So like, kind of dreading it, but at the same time, like, I think it took a while to pick up the Ubot Studio is what I'm using. So I can build anything right now in a sense, like on the, but then kind of relearning that. It's like, I don't know. It took a while to get to where I was. So.
Yeah, but for long term and I mean also for user experience, I would maybe suggest like you make a backend with Python, because it's for more data science and you can process more data and all that stuff. You can also find a lot of scripts and already made software, open source stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, I think the plan is that if this TradeBot Secret can produce what I think it's going to produce, then I'll probably use that proceeds to hire some programmers to build the full-on SaaS, web develop, web server. Like you just log in and it's there for you, kind of thing.
Yeah. Because I work daily with devs and all this stuff, so I mean I also have Python experts. So it's very much possible. I mean, you just need to tell them like you need to make the rules and what concepts your bot working on, and then just program it, let it program, and then
yeah, definitely learning a lot. Just just from what I know so far, and just programming it in and just kind of understanding how things are interacting.
So maybe for example, a very easy, and you may also get more customers with that, because you can have like this web portal thing, and you can give a default options, default suggested options for like configuration, where you can also update. For example, if you are updating the default configuration, everyone who has like, if you have 100 members, they don't have to update them manually. It will be synchronized all over the software, and they also, for example, have an option to customize and tweak around the settings, for example, because then you are centralized and you are providing access to everyone, and you just have an API and it's connected to the server, and it's being provided everywhere.
Yeah, I would say this is probably more like the proof of concept before we go big. But I really do want to go and touch on AI. So I think it's moving to that point where it's like I don't know what to tweak anymore. It's like I've tweaked so much already, and it's like now it's like let's let AI tweak it, you know. So that's where it's headed. There's so many scenarios that we can think of, and I'm like sometimes like just taking a shower, like that's where I do most of my thinking. Like, oh, what about this? What about that? And it's like, it just never ends, you know. It's like, why just let AI figure this out? It's like,
So at the moment, how does it work? Because I think you added the moving average, didn't you?
Yeah.
Whether the long or short, or
yeah. So Mike wanted me to do the moving average, and I was like, yeah, because before we were just in and out, you know, really quick, but we never held long positions, and when it pumps long in a steady position, it wouldn't hold it. So moving average kind of helped with that a little bit to kind of hold that position longer, and now we're able to kind of hold, you know, take more profit on a position that we go into. And so then based on that, I was like, hey, you know, since I was doing velocity acceleration anyway, might as well throw that on the moving average and see what happens, kind of thing. And then I noticed that as we're accelerating, we can accelerate in a positive direction, but then we can accelerate at 10 miles per hour squared, or when it goes from 10 miles per hour squared down to 5 miles per hour squared. Well, it's kind of, in a sense, it looks like it's going positive, but it's in a sense it's still it's slowing down in acceleration, and we need to see that it's slowing down. And sometimes it does see that on that pump, but then but that acceleration at 5 miles per hour second squared, it kept going for a longer time, and it just kept going long while we're trying to short this thing.
Yeah, so what you mean with acceleration is probably the volume that's coming in the market, right?
No, the price movement.
The price move, okay. So because I have also seen a lot of strategies where they include like the order books, like how many orders are coming, and a market price order books, how many orders are placed, and just seeing the order books, they do their trading, and it's based on completely.
Yeah, I don't know about the order books, but I think it's so deceptive where they put orders in and then they take them off, and I can't watch it actually. I have to hide it because there's just too much information. I can't focus.
Yeah. I was looking for that. I was trying to find the indicator that showed the order book to try to figure out. Do you think you'd be able to see like, oh, there's a lot of orders here and a lot of orders here and a lot here, and you should play between there, but I haven't found it.
Well, I thought about that too, and I was like, dude, but then they just pop 1 million, 10 million, and they take it off. And like, dude, like, dude, I was just, oh man.
Yeah, but you still get a little bit feeling and confidence, a little bit maybe. I mean, it's all manipulation. Yeah, big bills, but I sent you a screenshot. Is that the correct stop loss settings I have here?
Yeah, -2%. Yeah, that's it.
That's it, no? Yeah.
Oh. I've just noticed I haven't. Sorry.
I would recommend negative 0.0125.
Okay.
Because I was just accounting for the fee of 75%, because then you're taking 2.75% with the fee. So if the 1% doesn't kick in, then 1.25 we should probably put that conditional order
and then
in.
it will stop for the day. Yeah.
Oh no. That will just exit you for that current position. But
for current position.
But still jump in.
What is the stop loss for the whole account that you meant?
For that. Okay, it's under exit, the exit section. There's a take profit, take simple loss. Let me see. Yeah, search exit section. Oh, look, we're in profit now. We can start taking profit with the top rungs. Let's put my update my price here.
Yeah, I just noticed I haven't had any trades for about 13 hours.
Oh, yeah.
But my bot's still running.
Maybe
I might restart it.
Did you hit your goal already? Are you negative? You said you're negative, huh?
I gotta go back because it's already rolled over to the next day, so I haven't had any trades this last few hours.
Okay, yeah, so okay.
All right, so it is called. All right, it's called. Where's my exit section? All right, just search. Put brackets and then search for exit.
I'm in exit. Yeah, I sent you the screenshot.
Oh, okay. I see.
And I also changed the stop loss. You can confirm. If it's
Yeah,
correct.
so that's the one right there. That as soon as your current position is 1%, it'll limit order and exit you.
So it's the stop is 1%.
1%, yeah, and then so yeah, so it'll limit order out. Okay, and then that one that you showed me earlier was when we put the conditional order. And it basically brackets the order with the limit and a conditional order to force it out.
Yeah, but doesn't make sense because it did over 2% today loss. I mean, over like 3% on the whole account.
Yeah, so there was probably two positions that did that 1% loss, right? Or is it only one order? So was it one position that took up 3% loss?
No.
It was multiple, right?
Yeah.
Then that's right.
I mean, I'm talking about the whole account. Like when does it stop like trading?
It doesn't.
Bot.
It doesn't.
It doesn't.
Doesn't.
Okay.
It's just gonna keep going until. Yeah. So I think if you want to like say, hey, if I lose 5%, to just stop for the day. Is that what you're saying?
That's what I was asking. I mean,
that's what you want. Okay. All right. So then, if you want to stop for the day, if you lose that, then what I would do is.
Because what I'm thinking, because when the market is very volatile and the bot is not able to predict and do its stuff, then it should stop probably for the day and maybe come next day.
Okay. All right. Then to do that, you would go to auto adjust P&L. You see where it says auto adjust P&L. Are you? Am I sharing my screen?
I'd be interested. Yeah, that's a good question. Are there times like a low price action of that we should stop trading?
I don't know yet. Yeah, because if there is a day that happened, I'm like, okay, we learned from our lesson and stop it. All right, so here you see what auto adjust P&L is?
Yeah, auto adjust wallet P&L. Yeah.
All right, and then you see how it's like how this here stops it once we hit 5%. So you might want to say on the kind of repeat copy that, and then you could then put that into the less than settings and say if it's less than 5% my wallet to just stop trading for the day, and that will stop it. So you won't enter.
I don't have this variable, I think. No, wait a second. Yeah, wait a second. There's a person 0. Yeah.
Okay,
so wait a second. I mean, I'm sending a screenshot better.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good idea. So if you have a
bad
day, you can just say call it quits for the day.
Yeah, that might be a good fail safe there. I think I should probably add that too. Just in case I'm like, oh man, I'm taking 20% loss, like one after another.
Yeah, I mean, it's also psychology. I mean, I'm okay with 2% loss per day, but it should not do it per position, Yeah. All the time.
Yeah. So what are you setting yours to 2 or 2 for the whole wallet and just be done for the day, or are you gonna put it to
my max would be 5%. I don't
5%.
want more loss. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. 5%. Yeah, that's a good idea. That way, the next day you can kind of recover some of that.
Yeah. So you see my screenshot?
Let's see.
That's the current setting. That's the proven settings. I haven't actually touched the settings yet. I haven't tweaked anything, so that should be the default. So it says like less than RA% decimal 0.
Yeah. So yeah, change that one to it was less than, entry rungs to be 0, and then exit rungs 1, and then the ROE to negative 5%, 0.05, and that should stop it from continuing.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Sorry, guys. I need to run. Need to take the kids to the cinemas.
All right. Well, thanks for coming on board and putting the idea out and organizing this.
One question I was thinking is maybe something to think about, because I've noticed a lot of times when I get in trouble is, like, for example, like right now where it's BTC is just sort of really bouncing. It doesn't have a clear direction.
Mm-hmm.
Or I guess, or would you say it does have?
No, TBS will be sucking on sideways. It's just gonna keep racking too big of an order and taking those losses. That's where I was like, hey, maybe set one rung to just close out the order, or maybe what's it called? Take profit immediately as soon as it goes into profit. Which I haven't really figured out how to kind of do a good balance yet. So if you can figure that one out, that'll be awesome. Let me know.
Yeah. But, okay. Or is there a way to, if it's sideways, that we can say just don't trade? Yeah.
So if it's sideways, then you might want to set those. So basically, in TBS, what controls the entry is the rungs. So if it's sideways, maybe say 0 rungs and it won't trade. And then if it's trending up and down, then you could start entering with 3 rungs or whatever.
Okay. Yeah.
So you might want to try
have one rung, or
yeah. So that might be a good idea to just not trade sideways, because it's just racking up fees and it's not able to close it. And plus, with that 1% being sensitive, it's going to keep hitting our 1% all day. So that might be a good idea to just not trade that.
Yeah. I guess it depends. Like sideways sometimes can be really good if you've got that, plenty of up and down. But you got to make sure you open up that be able to take those losses to 5% maybe, depending on how well it backs up and down. Yeah. Okay. Well, maybe I'll try that.
So, but TBS is strength. Well, I would say play the bot based on its strength, and you know yourself before you go to war, kind of thing, right? So if it's good for up and down, then I probably wouldn't enter sideways and kind of do the opposite of leverage and leverage trapper. This is only trade trending and not enter on sideways.
Yeah. Okay, I'll leave you guys.
All right. Well, take care.
All right. Thanks. And great to chat.
Yeah. See you.
Same here. Yeah.
See ya.
All right. I don't know about you. What time is it over there for you, in Germany?